Hello, folks. My name is Jason Smith, and I'm here to talk about an exciting product that was developed by Altos Trading called TradeTrend. If you're not familiar with TradeTrend, it's a momentum like indicator that can be used on multiple platforms to help you know when to get into a trade and when to get out of a trade. And it's a momentum indicator similar to the MACD if you're familiar with that, except that it's a little bit more refined. And I've been using it for the last couple of weeks, and I'd like to run through the paces of it with you on my favorite trading platform, which is TradingView.com. So what I'd like to start off with is showing you, first of all, if you're not familiar with how to add this indicator to your chart in TradingView, exactly how to do so. So I already have it here, as you can see in my version of TradingView. So I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to remove it. Okay, so that's off of my chart. And the best way to get it added back or to add it to your chart for the first time is you click up here on this indicators and strategies button. It's a little wave sign with a plus button underneath it. Okay, and when you do that, what you'll do is you'll go here to invite only scripts. Okay, you should have received this when you signed up for TradeTrend inside of TradingView. Okay, and right here it is. It's got a little lock icon. Okay, so if you're a subscriber to it, then you just click on it and it should automatically populate on your screen. I'll go ahead and close this indicators and strategies window. Okay, now one thing I like to do, and this is just the way new things come into TradingView, is the candles tend to be on top of everything, and you can see right here, right over here especially. Trade trend is actually behind the candles. It's very hard to read the entry and exit signals. And so all you need to do is come down here to the bottom left. You've got this layers looking button. It's actually called show object tree. And if you click on that, all you have to do is take this first layer here, which is just is the SPX, and it's the candlesticks for the SPX, and just click where these little dots are and just drag it down below trade trend. And when you do that, trade trend will now be first in order on top of the candlesticks. Okay, if you have other indicators or annotations on here, then you just want to make sure trade trend is above all those as well if you want to be able to read the signals. Okay, now briefly I want to kind of go over what the different signals are on the chart. Okay, you have buy setup and sell setup triggers. Okay, so first of all, we'll go over the buy setup. So if you're going to go long, or if trade trend is telling you that it thinks that this particular stock or ETF or whatever you're looking at is getting ready to make a bullish play, then you want to look for this green triangle. This is letting you know that a buy setup is imminent. Okay, and to be ready. Okay, for that to happen. When you actually are triggered into a long trade, this symbol right here, this green circle, will show up. And what's beautiful about this indicator that I love so much is that it actually gives you the exact to the penny entry that you should be looking at getting into this trade if you want to. Okay, so it says at 29.57.32. And so if I move my little cursor down, you'll look over here on the right side. Okay, I could see that it is literally right here above this last big white Maribozu candle, as they call it in technical analysis. Okay, and so I got triggered in here on this. Looks like an evening star reversal pattern. Okay, but what I also love about Trade Trend is that it gives you trailing stop levels. So once you're into a trade, and I've never seen this in any other indicator, it actually will tell you when you should consider getting back out of that trade that you're in by going ahead and telling you where you should put your stop loss. Okay, and that on a long trade is these little green lines. You see that right here? Okay, so as you're into this trade here, the first stop loss signal or entry that, or excuse me, stop loss order that you should put in is down here around 28.49 and some change. Okay, now this is on a daily chart, and so as this plays out, as the candlesticks move from day to day, TradeTrend will automatically tell you where you should move your stop up to. There's no having to guess about it, or try to um, just use some arbitrary means to determine where to put your stops. You just put it right here, and as the trade keeps going, you just move your stop up. Okay, and here, as you can tell in this particular play back in October, mid-October, this would have been a profitable trade. Okay, because now as I move my stop up on October 17th, if I would have gotten in here on October 7th, 10 days later, it would have told me to get out, or I would have been stopped at, excuse me, on the 18th when it crossed this stop loss, and I would have had a profit. And that's what I love about this indicator. It really takes a lot of the guesswork out if you're a new trader and you're trying to understand where your entries and your exits should be, and what kind of an order to put in. And here it even told you put in a buy stop limit order. Okay, I won't go into what that exactly means or how to put that into your particular broker, because each broker is going to be a little bit different. Now, the same can be true on bearish plays. If you're going to short a stock, or if you're going to buy long puts, or do some sort of a bearish setup. If I come over here, okay, whereas I had green for bullish plays, I have red for bearish plays. Okay, so here is a bearish sell setup, okay, telling me that I need to be prepared to go short. And if the setup happens, or if the entry happens within 3 days of this sell setup, then I'll get a red circle, just like I did with the green circle on the bullish side. Okay, so right here, I got in based on what it told me to go ahead and put my order in, which is at 29.87.87. Okay, and so if I look at that on my cursor, I can see that's about right here underneath this spinning top candlestick pattern right here. Okay, and I got triggered in by this long shadow, even though it was a bullish day. It's telling me that momentum is shifting to the downside, and sure enough, as you can see here, these red lines are telling me where I should put my stop loss on the bearish position. Okay, and if I keep following that down, then I would have obviously made a profit when this big large bearish Maribozu candle came in, or bearish engulfing pattern. Okay. Okay, another thing that I really love about TradeTrend is that it works on multiple time frames. Okay, I have the daily here on the SPX pulled up, but I can also go into, let's say, a 5-minute chart. Okay, and instantly it re-renders trade setups on the 5-minute. I can do a 15-minute, okay, or even an hourly. Okay, it doesn't matter because it's all built into the platform. That's what I really like about it. So if I'm a day trader or a swing trader, I can use this indicator to my advantage. So one of the things I want to do is I want to go back in time and see how TradeTrend did on certain stocks, not just indices. Okay, and so I'm going to pull up UPS. Okay, I'm going to go up here to the search box and type in UPS as the ticker, which is the United Parcel Service. And I'm going to go back in time to May of 2019. And so if I hit this go to button in TradingView, I can also hit the key Alt plus G. Okay, if I click on this, then I can go back to a certain date and time. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to May of 2019, and I'm going to click on the 19th. If I click this little green arrow, I'm transported back in time very quickly to that particular area, and I'm on the hourly, as I said again. Now, what I want to look at here is a setup that was around the 29th. Okay, so to get a real true sense of how I would have traded this particular setup is I want to hide all of the candles going forward. And the best way to do that is to turn on an instant replay mode. Every trading platform calls it different. In TradingView, it's called bar replay. Okay, and it's this button up here, kind of looks like a fast rewind button, if you will, that you used to have on the old VCRs. Okay, if you click on that, you want to make sure that this button right here, it's called the jump to button, is highlighted. Okay, And if I move my mouse around, I'm going to see a red vertical line appear on my charts. If I click on a particular candle, and I'm going to go over here to the 29th, the opening candle, and if I click on it, it's going to hide everything going forward from here. I can see everything going backwards, but everything going forwards is hidden. This is great, especially if you're a first-time beginner or a trader and you're really trying to hone your craft and learn how to do certain setups. Going back in time and doing this instant replay mode and hiding the candles and going forward in time, candle by candle, is a great way to become a better, more profitable trader. So if I go back up here to the instant replay bar, I've got a couple of options. I can hit the play button, and the play button is going to go candle by candle without me doing anything after I click on this button. Okay, and the speed is determined by this blue bar. Okay, and right now it's set to go one candle, or it's going to reveal one candle every half second. I can go back to 1 second if I want to. I can go back to real time if I'm done testing a back test. But I can also go forward one candle at a time by clicking this button. I like this because I like to have control of the speed of how fast things appear. Okay, so if I click on this, the opening candle here on the 29th was a pretty bullish candle. Okay, now we don't have a setup yet according to TradeTrend. Okay, it has not really determined a good potential play. And now I'm into the 30th. And it says right here that I need to look at getting into a possible bearish trade with a sell stop limit order at 95.12. So that would be about right here, right underneath this bearish candle. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, here is a bullish candle. However, this lower shadow triggered us in, and so we'd be in this trade, and we've got a trailing stop that tells us to put it right here. Okay, so we don't have to guess. We can just put our trailing stop right here. Now, if I go forward, TradeTrend is maybe assuming that the trade is reversing on us, and so it tightens our stop. Okay. Now, on the 31st, we had a gap down. The stop is still the same. It has not moved. Okay. So still giving us some wiggle room to see how this trade's going to play out. Okay, now we did move down. Do you see that? Right here below this sort of a bearish spinning top candle. Okay, it's moved us down again. So now we're profitable in this trade. Even more profitable, even more profitable, even more profitable, and we just keep going down until we get this huge bullish engulfing pattern, if you will, on June the 3rd. However, because TradeTrend told us where to lower our stop, we would have stopped out, but we would have gotten a really nice bearish profit on our hands. Okay. So now I'm going to come out of instant replay mode or chart replay mode. Okay. And it takes us back to present time on this particular chart. Okay, one of the other things I really love about TradeTrend is that it can be used across the whole spectrum of the stock market. You don't just have to be looking at the indices, major indices. You don't have to be looking at the S&P 500 stocks. Okay, you can be looking at penny stocks or even pharmaceutical stocks, which can be very volatile at times. So let's go back in time and look at a potentially great trade setup. And I'm going to stay here on the hourly. And I'm going to go up here to the search box and type in ALXN, which is Alexion Pharmaceutical. Okay, we're going to go back to October 2nd of 2019, this year. Okay, click on this green button. And what I want to do is go into your instant replay or bar replay mode. Okay, and I'm going to take the little red line. I'm going to go over here right before the 9th. Okay, so let's move this over. And I want to step into each candle. Okay, there was a potential bearish play. But here on the 10th is where I really want to focus on. So on the opening of market on October the 10th, TradeTrend told us that with this huge bullish candle, we should be looking at a potential entry buy stop limit order at 97.07. Okay, so right about here in this area. Okay. On the next candle, we finally are triggered in. Okay. And so we got into this trade and we put our stop down here at around the 94.45 area. Okay. So I'm going to keep going through here. And now we've raised the stop up. Okay. Here's another big bullish candle. We've raised the stop up even more. Now, on the 11th, we had a huge gap up. We still have our stop here. But if we go to the next candle, we move it up even more. Now we're profitable. We got a huge bullish candle. Okay. Now you can choose to get out of this trade here if you want to. These are several big bullish candles in a row on an hourly chart. I might have gone ahead and you know, set a target somewhere up here around $100. Okay. Now I've got my stop loss here at around 99.26. So theoretically, there's no way I really could lose on this trade, especially with it being on hourly during market hours. Here's my stop now, and then I would have gotten stopped out here at 330. Okay, so this is another example of how TradeTrend could have made you a lot of money, depending on if you're buying shares or options, if it's an optionable stock, on the hourly. Now, you may be asking yourself, okay, that's fine. You know, daily's great, hourly is great. Let's see that. Let's really see it in action on the 5 minute. Okay, and let's look at it on something that you may not typically trade. It's very volatile but highly leveraged, which is futures. And this is something that I like to trade. So I'm going to go over here to my watch list that I have in TradingView for futures. And let's look at the S&P 500 E-minis. So I have found that TradeTrend works really well with the futures market, along with the stock market and many others. And let me show you a great trade setup that actually happened in the middle of the night a couple of days ago. When volume was low, there wasn't a whole lot of liquidity because it was right after Christmas, but still TradeTrend showed a great trade setup. So I'm going to go here to the 27th of December. And as you can see with these candles, there wasn't a whole lot of trading going on. And so let me just scroll through here to right around 4:30 in the morning. Okay, and we had a trade set up over here that would have told us to potentially get in at 32.49.59. Okay, which on the S&P 500 would have been probably around 32.49.75. Okay, so we'd have been triggered in right here with this big bullish candle. We would have set our stop down here around 32.48, but very quickly we would have just moved our stops up with these huge bullish candles. Okay, all the way up here to 32.51.25. Keep moving it up. Okay, and we would have started to see the market was kind of going sideways here. Okay, and our stop would have definitely been cemented here around 32.51.75. Okay, market went a little bit higher. We got another buy, potential buy signal, but then very quickly the next candle told us that we were getting ready to reverse. The momentum was changing. So overall, TradeTrend is a fantastic indicator and tool to add to your arsenal. If you'd like more information, you can head over to tradetrend.com and sign up today. Thank you so much for watching.